you all had a good weekend. I certainly did. And I hope your week started off okay. Excuse me. If you're watching the replay, I just want to say hello to you. And don't forget, if you've got any comments to make during the course of the live stream, click down below. Always like to hear from you. And I always like to know what you're up to. So let me know. See, we've got a few in the room already. Hi, Nick. How are you doing? Jonathan, how are you? It's nice to see people in the chat room right at the very beginning. It's one of those days, you know, when I've prepared for this. Just not very well. Hi, Wazza. How you doing? I'm going to show you right at the beginning. You know how during the course of things, I've always got a long list of things that I want to talk about. Not today. It's all blank there. So we're going to have to keep this going. You're going to have to tell me what you want to talk about, all that sort of stuff. How are you, Nettie? How are you, Kay? Good to see you in the chat room. It's boiling in Scarborough. It's not much different here as well, I've got to tell you. It was a bit cooler today. Last night was so hot. It's been particularly hot over the night last night. You know, I have to wear a mask. You saw that in the last video. Last night, it was pumping warm air into my face. It was a struggle last night. I woke up at 2:38 and I've not been back to sleep yet. So if I nod off during the course of this live stream, just prod me a little bit, won't you? Let me know. Have I ever seen a ghost? No, never. Never seen a ghost. Deb says she has. She's a believer. I'm kind of not. The library that we've got is very small. They haven't got any CDs in there. All they've got in there are audio books. If you want CDs and the like, I would take it that you've got to get into the town in Cambridge. There's a massive library there. But I haven't been to the one in Cambridge. I've been past it and I know how big it is. But the one where we are suits me. It's just around the corner. I can walk there in about 4 or 5 minutes. So I can get in and out of there. But like I said, I didn't pick nothing up the other day because I've been reading this book called The Edge. And I'm getting towards the end. Another couple of nights and I probably will have finished it. Hi, Gordon. How are you? It's nice to see all you guys in the chat room this early in the evening or in the afternoon if you're in America, because I do know that you Americans, I don't know where you manage to put your time out. It's so good of you in the middle of your day when you could be doing something useful. Coming and joining us in the chat room. So let me just give you a little rundown on what's going on the channel. Well, it's not good. I looked at my stats today. I'm going to have to stop doing it. We have lost 80 subscribers over the last 28 days. There you go. They obviously aren't liking my vlogs. What do you think? How do you think the vlogs are going? I mean, the one that went out on the weekend did better than the second one. The second one didn't do as good as the first one. So it is madness, Chris. I've got to stop looking at my stats. I can't help it. I'm a nosy. You know that there was a program on the telly, I think it might have been the Fast Show, where someone pretended to be Michael Caine and said it was saying he's a nosy neighbour. Well, that's me. I get the stats just sort of come up on here, and I sometimes just have to have a look. But it doesn't really matter, you know. The subscriber bit doesn't bother me, although I go on about it. We've got a little thing going on, me and Debs. I reckon we're going to lose 100 before we start gaining again. So what did you think to the vlog the other day? I thought it was okay. I'm trying to think what was in it now. We walked to the library. What did we do? We went in the library. I had a little chat, didn't I, about getting rid of stuff. And I'm surprised at the change of the comments that people have said. I'm not thinking about getting rid of stuff because I don't think I'm going to be here much longer. The truth of the matter is, the reason why I'm thinking about getting rid of stuff is, if you remember and you watch a video when I record it from that way, you can see all my books here. Well, what I'm going to be doing, I've got a load of books in the bedroom. We have a big bookshelf like this one we've got here. And I'm going to clear out a load of the books because I haven't read them in years. I'm not likely to. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move some of the books from here into the bookshelf in the bedroom. And this then will be somewhere for me to put all my cameras and all of the bits and pieces for the vlogging and that. Because at the minute, they're in a bag over there. I don't know if you can see it. See that little bag at the back there? All my stuff is chucked in there. There is a rucksack on the top shelf with stuff chucked in it. And every time I want to get something out, I have to keep going in and out of that. I mean, this is getting bad. Look, I'm getting things here. These are microphones in here. I've got a tripod here. I've got a little stretchy selfie stick thing there. I've got my action camera and tripod. I'm running out of room. That's the top and bottom of it. So what I'm planning to do is clear some of the stuff out from the bedroom bookshelf, get rid of that, and then I can start putting my cameras and stuff up in it here. Jonathan, I had the haircut in the vlog. I think, Jonathan, that you watch the vlogs, but you're eating ice cream at the same time, aren't you? Be honest. You get so engrossed in your ice cream that you're not taking notice, because I had my hair cut in the last 4 or 5 minutes about it. I talked about Freddie Boswell, and I said that I'd had my hair cut. I can only take it. You've been on the rum and raisin, Jonathan. So, yeah. Tammy, hello. How are you? Kay, I would never look at the stock market. That would do my head in. I'd be on there all the time. Thank you, Steve. Hi, how are you? I didn't see you in the room. I'm just checking over there because there it all is. I'm having a look, see who's in the room. I've said hello to, I think, everybody so far. If you're watching on the outside and you're just not tempted to try out the chat room yet, don't worry about it. You're more than welcome to have a look. How's the drone? Any more flights? Well, to be honest with you, I've been practicing with it because what it's got, it has is another look for it, just in case you haven't seen it. Look, I keep it close at hand now. It's got some automatic settings that you can set up on the side of it so that you don't need a remote control. And they're quite good. They do the follow you behind, and it'll do, well, in fact, you saw it on the vlog. Some of those different moves that it was doing are all the automatic ones on there. I've not got a remote control for it yet. I'm getting that when the next lot of money comes in. And I've got my phone out because it's got an app on the phone that you can control that with as well. My fear with the phone is that they link up by Wi-Fi, and I'm concerned that I'll send the camera, the drone out, and lose the contact, and then it'll be sitting up in the air and I won't be able to get it and get it going again. So I'm going to get myself a remote control for it properly, because that has better connection with the drone. Also, it will allow the drone to go up higher. At the moment, if I use my phone, it only goes up about 150 feet. If I get the remote control, it will go up 400 foot. And I'll tell you what, you can tell I'm new at this. I get all nervous when it goes up, and I look up and I'm like, oh, I hope it's going to be all right. Does it return to base if it loses the signal? I don't know. It hasn't happened yet. It has got a return home on it if you use the phone. If you use the automatic one, it hasn't, which is a shame. On the phone and the remote control, yes, it has got a return to home. I tried it the other day and it worked. It came back to me, but I'm a bit concerned at what happens with it if you lose the connection on the phone. So I've been practicing with it. I'm not very good. The trouble with the phone is that if you move the joysticky thing, I'm doing my thumbs now, like pretending I was. It's very, very like that. So I'm looking forward to getting the remote control. I'm going to go out tomorrow and have another play with it. I'm trying to go out with it and play and just try basic moves with it, you know, up, down, across, down, up and across, turning it round and all that sort of stuff. It's not as easy to drive. See, this is what happens. You watch these things on YouTube and you see these people flying them and they've got them banking and they've got them doing that and they look so easy. When you're a complete newbie like I am, it's not as easy as you think it is. And so I'm going to be doing a bit of practice with it. I will try and do... It's not, Nettie, you've got two joysticks on it. One moves it up and down, and if it will turn right or left, so that you've got that control on one. That's Deb's just coming home from work, Samuel. Hello, I didn't see you were there. And on the other one, it moves forward and backwards and on angles. So yeah, I'm looking forward to, you know, it's going to be something that I'm going to enjoy playing with. I'm hoping I'm going to get much better at it, and hopefully in time we'll be a bit more daring for it. But for now, what it will be is simple stuff. It will see me, it'll be following me. We'll send it up in the air so you can get a look round and all that sort of stuff. But it's good fun, you know. It's good fun. I'm looking forward to actually getting a little bit better at it. Do you know what I mean? Let me just check here to see what we've got. I'm sure Putin won't make no use of that. Look, it's this small. Look. It's the size of my hand. Not sure it's going to be able to do too much with it. Lynn, hello. Didn't see you there. It is. It's been very hot this week. They reckon it's going to get hotter again. This is what is I've been hearing today, that this is the 6th heat wave we've had this summer. Now, I don't know about you. Those of you who are of a certain age who remember 1976. It's been hotter, but it hasn't been as consistent as 1976 was. We're convinced, me and Deb still think that 76 was a longer, hotter summer than this one's been. I'm not sure really, but I suppose that was our summer, wasn't it? 1976. I was 16 that year. 16. I had a full head of hair. It was like dark brown. People used to call me Donny Osmond, and I hated it. Now I just wish I looked like him. So, talking of the vlogs, what more would you like to see on them? I'm hoping to get out and about. I had all these grand plans, you know. My grand plans was to get into Cambridge and vlog all around Cambridge, fly it along the river and that. And I found out that I'm not allowed to fly it in Cambridge at all because it has an airport. What I didn't know, being a total newbie to this, is that there are more places that you can't fly it than I would have imagined. Um, there's a couple of little villages not far from us, and I can't even fly in some of them because they've got some little airports, like little private planes take off. So I won't be able to use the drone there, but I'm tempted to go back into Cambridge and do some filming there because it's quite nice. If you've not been there and you haven't seen it, hi Emmy, how are you? It's quite nice to have a look round, and I'm sure I'll do that at some stage and take you, and you'll get a good look at it. Steve, I remember that summer. It was my last summer in Burnham. It was so hot, wasn't it? Um, yeah, everything was brown. Everything was brown and covered in ladybirds. Ladybirds that bit. I'm not going for a run for munchies, Jonathan. I'm still trying to lose weight. If I did that, I'll put all that weight I've lost. I've lost a stone. If you're American, it's 14, 15 pounds I've lost so far. And I'm looking to lose at least another 15 pounds before I think about calling it a day with this diet and going back to eating, the normal stuff. But I've got to be honest, I'm quite enjoying my change of eating at the moment because it's the summer and salads go lovely, don't they, in the summer? So I've kind of been enjoying what we've been eating this summer. I think I probably haven't done that much different. I don't know how it's much different because in the summer I tend to eat a lot of that. I haven't had lots of sweets. That's where the difference is, I think. Ladybirds were a terror, weren't they? God, can you remember? They bit as well, didn't they, Steve? All your arms, my hands came up with little lumps where I got bit by ladybirds so much that year. Favourite foods? Are we talking diet food, Jonathan, or my normal favourites? My normal favourites are comfort foods, if you like. Things like shepherd's pie. I like a shepherd's pie. Um, I do like a burger sometimes. Not the biggest burger lover, mind you, and I don't have them very often. But I like the sauces. I like sauces on my food, and I kind of think they don't help sometimes. James, do you know what? I did think about having a garage sale and putting them out, but do you know what? I think in this day and age, in the village where I live, there is a recycle site where people put the stuff on their lawn and people just come and take it and clear it out of the way. I'm the kind of person who thinks that a lot of what you've got to sell these days isn't wanted by a lot of people. I mean, I've got all these records. If I wanted to sell them, I'm not sure that I'd earn a lot of money out of them. Course Fisher, have I ever considered going fully bald? I have. And the problem I have is I have a really bad shaped head. It's not round, it's like it juts out at the back and it looks horrible, which is why I've kept this. Um, yeah, I did think about it, we talked about it, but I think having one bald person in the family is enough. As you know, Debs has alopecia and she has no hair at all. So, yeah, I think if we walked down the street, both of us bald would look like a pair of boobs. Uh, right, what else have we got here? I'm never totally off my food, Nettie. Even when I'm not well, I'm not. When is it odd that when I'm not well, I want to eat more? Do you know what I mean? I'm one of them. I do like Like my food. Emmy, I'm trying to read your sentence. You should try Shul and Buell from Ilmet. What's that then? I have no idea what that is. You've got me completely confused there. Yeah, I like Daddy's mustard as well. Yeah, I have the most horrible shaped head. Yeah, I love English mustard horseradish. Oh man, I like horseradish so hot that when I eat it, I get a reaction. Get like that. I love it. I love it when it's like that. Well, I'm trying to read, but you guys are. Oh, you've got to be some kind of fool to have not worked out that Jason Arday is a fantasist. Which makes me worry about the people who go to our universities here, because if anyone believed the amount of stories that he had to tell, I think any normal person in this day and age will have known that he's a fantasist and he talks a load of rubbish. But it seems to be that some people just believe anything these days. Way to a woman's heart. Frey Bentus. I'll tell you what, see them tins of Frey Bentus. They're cheap, but they're so nice, aren't they? With that little flaky pastry on the top. I love them. Hi, Al. Hi, and bye. Sorry to see you that you're got to go, but that's okay. I'll catch you whenever. Drop a blue nun. I remember when blue nun was de rigueur, and everybody used to get it, didn't they? Oh, right, Emmy. Ilmet is your home. Okay. I'm going to have a look on Google Maps and see where it is. What was I going to say? Right, yeah. Also, I was just having to think. People who are watching on the outside who haven't joined the chat room, please feel free to join, because they're a very friendly bunch, and they're all quite welcoming. So don't be worried about coming into this chat room. It's not a scary place. All very nice people. What's the best thing that you've ever bought in a charity shop? Oh, I could go on about loads of them. My wife used to work in a charity shop, and she would tell me if anything good was in there, and I'd nip over and I'd buy it. We've mostly, my love is DVDs. I bought some good shirts there because we live near Cambridge. You get some real quality shirts in charity shops. I've never bought anything that's overly expensive out there. Debs did find a ring in one of the years ago. They had a donation and she found a ring in there, and it was sold for £8,000. So they don't sell them in the shops for that kind of money. What they do is, she works for British Heart Foundation, and back in the day when she worked there, they used to, anything over 30 quid would go to eBay, and they would sell it on eBay. And the ring that she found in this box of stuff that was given was £8,000 it sold for. Really, really good. Asti Spumenti. That's it. No, that wasn't. Matthias was the one which had the funny shaped bottle, wasn't it? Does indeed. Cosmo, hello, I didn't see you in there. You got a candlestick telephone in a charity shop. Debs did buy it out of her shop, an old fashioned, the ring phones, a green one. That was good. What else did she get? She got a great model of a little, like an American petrol tank, petrol pump, and it's all done like, it's a blue color. It's lovely, and it's got a little door on it on the front that you can put stuff in. So that was really good. Let me see what we get here. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. Right, speaking of all this sort of stuff, in the video that I was talking about, the vlog from the other day, when I was talking about Emery and my son being here, and we was talking about the things that I was either going to throw away or did he want any of it, it got me to thinking. I put a post up earlier today on the community page about things that I'd have trouble wanting to get rid of. Do you know what I mean? I put on the picture, if you haven't seen it, I'll tell you what's on there. It's my little coin collection from the 1970 World Cup and all the foil badges, both SO things. They came out in the early 70s, and I've had them for years, and I love them, and I'd struggle giving them away. I'm pretty sure that my boys wouldn't be interested in them. Perhaps my James, because he likes football. But they're things that are interesting to me and things that I love. I know my boys wouldn't want any of my books. Henry doesn't want my records. He bought a record deck years ago and started collecting them, and didn't like turning the albums over and changing it. I think we've talked about this before. So we kind of think that Emery's told me to sell them all. I'm not ready to sell my records yet. Nah. That's not going to happen. I don't mind giving stuff away, to be honest. I kind of think, here's how I think about it. A lot of the things that I've got, and I look at my books and records and that, yet some of them are worth money. I'm pretty sure my Beatles albums, for instance, there's got to be 500 quid's worth of them. So I wouldn't give them away, obviously. But I kind of think with a lot of stuff that I bought them at a price what they were at the time. And I've had my wear and tear out of a lot of them. And so if I don't earn any money out of them, it's not the end of the world. And I kind of like to think that they would go to somebody who would like to have them. I've got a load of magazines down here in the bottom. They've been in here for 10 years and never moved, mainly because they're down low. But there's a magazine that I used to get in the 70s called Blues and Soul. And there are 3 folders full of them from like 1973 to 1975. And also, I don't know if any of you remember, there was a set of magazines in the mid-70s called The History of Pop. And I got all the magazines and I've still got them, but I haven't looked at them for years. So I would probably pass them on to somebody who would like them. I'm not concerned about the money for it. Yeah, the money be great, but you're never going to get what you think they're worth. Most of the stuff, we all think our stuff's worth a fortune, but it's only worth what someone's willing to pay you. That's how I see it. And so I'm not too concerned about giving stuff away. I have some things which are worth buying. For instance, I've got a great mini disc player there, and about 200, 300 mini discs up there, which would be great for someone who likes all that sort of thing. No, it wasn't H&E, Chris. I remember that. Yes, I did live through the 1976 heatwave. I think I know I've told the story about it before, but I'll quickly run over it again. During the 1976 heatwave, my dad had an amusement arcade and a bingo on a holiday camp in Burnham-on-Sea in Somerset. And we used to open at 9 o'clock in the morning, which meant that I'd be in there at 7:30 getting everything clean, and it would stay open till 11 o'clock at night. every day. And I would be in the arcade and I would watch all of the holiday makers at the start of the week walk out of the holiday camp towards the beach. And then about 5 o'clock, you'd see them all walk back a little bit pinker than they were in the morning. If they came on a Saturday, by the time it was Wednesday, they were lobster coloured. And then as the week gone, they'd start peeling and then they'd turn brown. And I used to watch all this. I used to watch them go backwards and forth and sit in the paybox in the arcade watching them go and wishing that I could be doing it as well because I was stuck there. And in 1976, I don't think I changed colour from ivory white all the time because I didn't get out in the sun much. I would get the odd hour if I was lucky during the course of the week, but most of the time I was inside. So although I remember the heat, although I remember how hot and how humid it was, I was very white. I just saw something there. K, you had magazines for the early 60s about JFK. That's wicked. Have you still got them? Have you still got them? That's what I want to know. 1970 World Cup was the best one ever. I think for me, the 1970 World Cup was the best one because it was the first one that I really remembered. When England won the World Cup in 1966, I was only 6. And to be honest, I don't remember thinking that much about football. But by 1970, whoa, brilliant. All right, fair enough. High school student researching it. That was very kind of you, Kay. Very kind. Nettie, your aunt definitely knew Harry Parkin or knew his kids. Right, okay. Well, Harry Parkin's kids are around my age. His son, Harry, I went to school with him. So I could have gone to school with your cousin as well, Nettie. We went to, when I left the junior school, I went to a school called St Dunstan's in Burnham, and Harry Parkin was there as well. And as far as I can remember, he went there right the way through and didn't go anywhere else. So, yeah, Harry Parkin didn't go to King Alfred's. Harry Parkin went to St Dunstan's and stayed there through to sixth form. But Steve went to King Alfred's. Steve Vels, who's in the chat room, he went to King Alfred's. No, it wasn't Harry's son who passed away in a motorcycle crash. I'll tell you who did. Do you remember, Steve, when we had the big yellow arcade on the seafront? And when we had that arcade, there was a cafe next door to it, the Marine Lake Cafe. And the couple who run that, Cyril and Maureen Waite, one of their 2 sons died in a motorcycle crash. That would have been in the 70s, I think. You're rewatching Tales of the Unexpected. I loved the theme to that and the dancing lady. That's all I can remember about it, to be honest with you. I don't recall seeing that at all. I remember I must have seen it. It must have passed me by because I can remember seeing the theme tune to it, but I can't actually remember the program. What else we got? Do you know what, guys? I said I didn't have much to talk about on here today. We're done. So what do you want to talk about? Let's talk about what you want to talk about. It's really funny. when I started this channel, question of the day, Kay, is following on from my video the other day about giving away possessions. I put a post on the community page this morning, and my question of the day is, what treasures would you find hard to give away? That's my question for you. I talked about my World Cup coins and things like that. They're things I'd have trouble giving away. I would also have problems these 4 tapes are, to me, they're really the most precious things I've got. These are my dad's old reel-to-reel tapes. They're from 1958. 3 of them are from 58. One of them is from 1960. And these tapes are where I developed my love of music. My godfather owned a record shop, and he used to make tapes up for my dad with the A sides and the B sides of all the hits of the time. These are actually totally worthless. They're not worth anything to anyone. The recordings of this on these tapes, they're 60 odd year old, nearly 70-year-old, some of these, and the quality on them is awful. However, I spent my youth searching for all the records that are on these tapes, and eventually I did get them. And I now have every record that's on these tapes. I've converted them into MP3s, and I have folders with these songs in the order that they're recorded on these tapes. So I don't ever play these anymore, but they're very precious to me. They probably wouldn't be to anybody else because they're not as important to them, because of obviously this is the first music I knew in my life, and I've kept these tapes all this time. I'm never likely to get rid of them. My boys probably will, because they haven't got a tape recorder, and to be honest, they wouldn't be as important to them. I've also got 60 odd of these down here in a drawer as well. So that's something that I would have problems giving away. I would have problems selling them. I don't think anyone could give me the money to sell them because they're pretty much priceless to me. I wouldn't sell them, and there'd be the one thing that I don't think it's possible for me to part with. I've had them ever since. I kind of commandeered them when I was about 11 off of my dad, and I've had them ever since, so they're not going anywhere. My boys will probably put them straight in the dustbin when they come and end up clearing out at the end. Do I know where Marine Drive is? Yes, I do. I remember that. Nettie, when my parents passed away, the only thing I wanted of theirs were their photos, which I now have. There are 3 suitcases full of different photos that when I was at home and when I first left home and used to come home visiting, Mum would get the photos out and she could tell me the story behind every single photo. And so they're precious to me as well. But they're the one thing that I wanted from my parents. They're the one thing I've got. What I did do, though, is I scanned every single photo over a period of about 2 years. I have them all scanned. They're all on hard drives, and I've passed the files out to family. They're welcome to print them off if they want. I've also spoken to my big sister about them, and what we did, because they weren't just our family, they were my mum and dad's brothers and sisters, photos of all of them and all their kids. I have sorted them out into sections, and as I see cousins, I've been giving them all of the photos that are for them, that involve their family, because now that I've got them on hard drives and I've got all the photos scanned, there's no real need for me to have the photos. They're still up in the cases, but it's also one of them other things, that my kids wouldn't be that interested in them because they don't know hardly anybody in the photos. Obviously, they'd know me and my sister and my brother and all that sort of stuff, but they wouldn't know extended family or my mum and dad's friends that I know. I mean, after all, my kids don't actually remember my mum and dad anymore. Time's gone. They've both passed away. One passed away in 94, the other passed away in 97. And my kids, to be fair, don't really remember them. My oldest, James, remembers me dad and me mum a bit better, but my Henry actually doesn't remember them at all. And so they won't be important to them. But the photos are important to me. It's very much, I'm a nostalgic kind of guy. And so I've always kept them and always wanted all of them things. I see, Tammy, you'd have trouble parting with all your albums. Well, you probably know my story about how we lost the business and I ended up buying a market stall and having to sell the majority of my record collection. This one here that I've got now and the records that are downstairs are part of, if you like, a second collection. And they'll never mean to me what the first one did, but I'm still not ready to part with them yet. I did a video about 2.5 years ago saying that I was going to sell my records. And the problem that I had was when it actually came to it, I kept putting it off. And I feel that I'm probably not ready to sell them yet. Although my Henry said, what you should do, Dad, is sell them and go away on holiday and have a good time with it, with the money from them. So perhaps one day. Who's to know? Yeah, I do love all of my nostalgic stuff from my mum and dad's days and all my family stuff. I'm very nostalgic. I've just recently, as some of you will know, I converted all of the home video that I had of my kids when they were small. And when my Henry came the other day, I gave him some USB sticks with his own copies so that they can watch them. And I've got all of them. They're still in the cupboard and I probably won't throw them away either. I find it very hard, but I'm a bit of a hoarder. But I'm also in that situation where I've got too much stuff around me. And in order for me to keep buying stuff, I've got to clear stuff out the way. So I'm going to start. My big start will be in my bedroom, in my bookcase in there. I'll clear a few books out of there that I've no longer got need. I'll move them from here into there. And then I'll be able to get my cameras and bits and pieces out and have them on a shelf in here. Or I was thinking about this today as well. I could bring the box sets of DVDs that are in the garage and fill that up with them as well. It's hard to know what to do in it. Debs is going to Kent for a week at the end of the month. And when she goes, I'm going to attempt to attack the garage and start clearing bits and pieces out. I don't know how far I'll get, and I don't know how far I'll get in the way of getting rid of stuff. What'll probably happen is I'll tidy it all up and have a bit more room in there, and then we'll just start chucking more and more stuff in there, because that's what happens. I think we've got air fryers in there. There's Vaxes in there. Yeah, so much stuff. There's certainly records in there that I don't need. But you saw what I'm doing with some of my records. When I make some room, I'm going to probably paint a few of my records up and do that kind of thing with them. It's true, Chris, isn't it? I love stuff as well. I think we all love a bit of stuff around us. It is hard to part with it, and I'm one of those people that still buys things. If I see something that was there when I was a child, I want to go and buy it again. I'd like to have another one. And certainly for books, I even picked up a Guinness Book of Records. You know, the annuals that used to come out every Christmas. I've got one from about 1968 that I bought because I saw it again and went, oh, I had that. So I did. Have I ever been to a Roy's shop? No, I don't know what a Roy's shop is. Would you care to elaborate on that for me? I don't know what a Roy's is. Cosmo, do you know what? Going through stuff is great, you know, because I don't know about you. If I find something that's been packed away for a while, when I get it out, it's just like loads of memories coming flooding back to you. And I love going through my old stuff and seeing things that I haven't seen for a while. I've got some things downstairs in the living room that really should be framed. I should really frame them and get them hanging up again. I haven't got Pinterest anymore. I did away with it a while ago. I used to have boards of stuff on Pinterest, but for some reason I stopped using it, well over a year ago, and I ended up deleting it. You have things that your grandparents brought over from Burma, Nettie. Brilliant. That's great, isn't it? I love stuff like that. I can remember, you know, when I was a kid and my mum and dad used to watch Antiques Roadshow on the telly, and I used to say, whatever are you watching all that old rubbish for? And now I'm glued to it. I love Antiques Roadshow. And I like that, what's it program? The repair shop one, where they get all these old things from way back when and do them all up. I love all that. I'm a very old person in my head. I mean, older than I am when you look at it there. Oh, your grandfather was a commissioner in Burma. Wow. I hope you've got photos and things like that in your collection of things of your grandparents. Do you know what? With regard to leaving stuff when we're gone, I would hate my kids to have to think that they've got to like keep it. I wouldn't guilt trip them on it. I think when I'm gone, anything can go. If they don't want it, I don't see the point in keeping it. If there's one thing that I'd like them to keep of mine, I'll tell you what I would like them to keep, right? These. I started doing these back in May, as you know. I read all of these today. There's only 36 pages in each one, so there's not tons of stuff in them. But the memories that I've had, that I've written down that I would have forgotten, these are a little library of my life, if you like, or they're going to grow to be one. Because every time I have a memory come back to me, I scribble it in here. Because so often for us, we remember all these little things, and life gets in the way, and then we sort of forget them. And these little books are my repositories for all my memories, I suppose they are. So I'd like to see that. I'd like to think that they'd keep these and have a read of them, because I think they're more important. They're worth nothing to anybody. Do you know what I mean? They've got no monetary value, but the value's in the stories that's held in there. I started my 7th one of these yesterday. If I haven't done anything, that has given me as much joy as these little notepads has lately. It's so simple that you just write down something, things that you think that you remember and that. And I don't know, I just love this. It's one of these things. I never ever kept a diary growing up. I never thought that that would be my thing. I do journaling. I started journaling back in 2021. This is this year's one. This one goes, this is my 6th journal. What's great about these, I have these things called a habit tracker. See this? And I tick things and I highlight things that I want to keep. This has been great. I love doing this. And on this side of it, I write one thing a day that brings me a bit of joy. So it's like a gratitude list of it. And then when days are miserable, I go back to this and I start at the top and I read down here and see all of the good things that have happened in my life, because the small things come along every day and we don't take any notice of them, because we're all waiting for the big things. And this is like a gratitude journal. This bit here, there's one page for each month, but I also have a section in here which I write in every day. But this one is basically about my channel, and I write in here what's going on about it and every day. And so I kind of, these are my YouTube channel things. I started doing these journals before I had my YouTube channel. But I read a book called Atomic Habits, and he talked about keeping a gratitude journal, and he talked about keeping a habit tracker. And I tried it for the first year, and it was brilliant. I couldn't believe how it kept me on track. So the habit tracker bit was really good, and I started doing these journals then. And I actually look forward to writing them in there every day. I quite like writing. I don't think I'm disciplined. I think what it is that I enjoy the writing bit. I enjoy writing in here. When I used to do Facebook, my Facebook channel is still going, but I don't put any comments on there or anything. I haven't done for over a year now. But I used to write on there pretty much every day, and I would have like posts that was like as long as that. Do you know what I mean? Real long posts, because I quite like it. I like the writing of stuff, and I like to use it as a way of helping me organize my thoughts, if you like. And so yeah, journals, notebooks, things like that, I really enjoy them. That they don't cost anything to do, but they're such good fun to do, and they're great to read back. I also put in these, this isn't just a memory thing for like memories that I write down here. I also put like a little thing with what albums I've listened to each day. I put them on there. And I also put a list of any ideas of videos that you give me. These are video ideas that people have sent to me or asked me to think about doing, so that I can think to myself, I'll just check that. Do you know what I mean? And so, yeah, very, very good for that. Right, let me have a look. Was it you collect postcards? Debs has got an album of postcards. I think they're great. Chris, I thought you'd have been able to do that. I think the key is to doing a journal is to not put too much in it. My journal this journal here takes me about 5 minutes to do every morning. I'll go in there, cross all the things that I've got in the list of things that I want to do on a regular habit. I write down one thing that happened yesterday that was good, and then I'll write down the things that I've got to do today in here. This takes no more than 5 minutes to do in the morning. It's what I come in the office, pick this up, just do it, get out of the way with, it's done. These I write on and off multiple times during the course of a day. I haven't written very much in it today, mind you, because today, what I've been doing today, I started my what I've been watching in August video. I film it in bits because it's too hard to remember otherwise. I've watched 7 films so far this month, and I recorded the first 7 bits and edited it and got that ready. And then when I do another lump of films, I'll add to that, and that makes the job so much easier for the end of the month. I try not to moan too much in my journal or in here. I try to keep stuff that's important, that's good. I think the trouble with moaning it, getting upset about things and keeping the things that are moany, if you like, is that they just pull you down. They just pull you down. Nettie, you've got a list of all the books you've read. I did that for 2 years, to be honest with you. I did it for 2 years, and I read 60 books one year and 58 the next. And I put them all as an app on the internet called Goodreads. And I used to cross them off each time I'd read a book. So I had a list of that as well. But I did lose that. Do you know what? I think when it comes to having things on the internet, I kind of get bored with it. I like writing and scribbling, as you can tell. I'm so untidy. I have scraps of paper everywhere, look, with things ideas, thoughts. I've got scraps of paper. I've got a book here which has got things that I've kind of written down. It's all stuff that I think might be useful to me in the future. I've got one of these. I have loads of notepads. Do you remember when they said that it's going to be a paperless office when the computer comes? Nah, I've still got pads and pads and pads. And I don't know about you, but I love looking. I love looking for notepads and things. I really do. I bought Debs an ink fountain pen for Christmas one year. I bought her a nice one. I've still got, I think in here somewhere, I've probably in my drawers, I probably have still got my fountain pen that I had when I was at school. Cosmo, what was that? You'd love to do journaling and habit tracking. Could I give you a tutorial? I could do. But what I found is I did it all. How I started, the way I journal has changed from when I started, mainly because I watch YouTube. I'm a proper nerd. I watch a lot of YouTube videos about journaling and things, and I see ideas in that, and then I think, how can I incorporate that's a good thing? And so my journal has evolved over time. God, is that the time already? I hate to say it, guys. We've gone over the hour, and my dinner will be ready. This has gone so quickly tonight. So quickly. I didn't think I'd have enough to carry on talking about. And would you know, we've done it again. Guys, thank you so much. We could talk here for another 3 hours. But the problem is, I need to eat. So I will see you here again, same time, same place next week. I haven't got any videos done yet for this week, but probably by Wednesday I'll have one ready and sorted out. I will see you then. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been brilliant as always, and I will see you all next time. Ta-ra now.